everybody, welcome back. It's a nice Saturday morning. Anyway, we've been working pretty hard on our project here. So we're gonna go over some of the things we're doing, what we're not going to do for the show, which is quite a bit because, again, I'm not rushing anything. So there's only one thing I have to finish for the show, and that's the rear end. So let's go take a look at where we're at on that. Okay, so we've got the foam all in. We've got it all trimmed out. And I've put a layer of epoxy over the entire inside of the rear bumper. It's gone to its tacky stage. So now we're going to lay this carbon fiber on it. I am not going to bag it, so I'm just going to try to get it where I want it. So the first thing I'm going to do is this lower section, and then we're going to work on doing the upper part. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, well, remember, this is just to give those joints that we made a little support, and that's why we're using this heavy duty fabric. Once I go back over it and wet this all out after the underlayer dries, you're going to find that some of the epoxy is going to kind of fill in those little gaps and stuff. So I was trying to get it in there nice and tight as best as I can. So anyway, again, not for looks, just for a little strength to keep those joints together. That way we can work the front and not have to worry about strengthening it. We can just put body work on it. And this should end up really light compared to the other rear end. So stay tuned for more. Next thing we'll do is we'll wet this out once it dries overnight. So one of the other things I've done is this roof piece here. So we've vacuum bagged it. And what I'm going to do here is look for it. I think we need another piece here. So anyway, so I vacuum bagged this roof piece. It's been in here overnight. And we'll see how it turned out. So yeah, that turned out pretty nice. We'll take some thin epoxy and go ahead and layer that on top. Hopefully you can see that this ridge in here, which are what we're going to have for the window, actually turned out quite nice. Let me see if I can get that in focus there. So this ridge right here, that's the inset for the actual window. But yeah, I think it's gonna turn out nice like the other parts. So first things first, there's this piece that slots into this over here. So this goes in here. I made it a separate piece, and that'll slot in there, and we'll be finishing out this all off. But one of the things I wanted to make sure is that this was going to be rigid and strong, because the 3D prints are, especially in thin areas like this, are just not that strong. Then you put the layer of carbon fiber on it, and it's nearly bulletproof. So pretty impressive stuff. Anyway, so I vacuum bagged this. I got it on here. I've put another layer of epoxy on it, so this is ready to be trimmed up, and then we're going to sand it down and then test fit it over here in the rear end. Now what we've done over here in the rear end is started to body work it. So you can see that I had to test fit and then grind back some of the 3D prints, and then I reinforced the backside with carbon fiber as well as kitty hair, so that this is supported nicely. And we're sharpening up all of the features here and stuff like that. I used the Duraglass behind this to fill in some of the gaps, and then all of this is going to be completely body worked. So we're moving from one side to the other. Previously you saw me vacuum bagging this thing, the rear support. So that all turned out pretty nice as far as giving the part strength without adding a bunch of weight. So currently we're at about 15 pounds. I think the end weight is going to be maybe 50 after we get all of the body work done, as well as the carbon fiber bits. Now, carbon fiber bits. So obviously this one is actually going to get painted. That's why I used this kind of, I don't know if I want to call it low quality, but it's low finish quality. But it's really heavy carbon fiber matte. And then we're going to carbon fiber this area. We're going to skin that area in carbon fiber. This perimeter here will be skinned in carbon fiber. Same on the other side. And then we're going to do down here, the diffuser will all be skinned in carbon fiber. So that's where we're going to go with that. So let's keep working on it. Well, we're going to do another little segment here. While I so much enjoy sanding, it's really near and dear to my heart. Not so much. Okay, so, but we're making progress on the sanding. So let's take a look. Here you go. You can see we've got most of the bottom covered in filler. We're starting to smooth it all out. I just kind of do this in little spurts, as much as I can take it. I've got this piece done here. This is all sanded down, just about ready. It's got some spot things I have to do, about ready for primer. We've been working on this area here. You can see it's relatively well smoothed out, but we're just going to keep cranking on that. So that's kind of the thing that I don't enjoy doing. So I decided to do something mechanical, and I'd like to know what you guys think about this. I mean, it's probably not practical for this car, but there it is. I have active aero. So I have a mount on the front that I've modified for putting the wing on a pivot, and then in the back we have actuators, linear actuators. They weren't terribly expensive, but they're for outdoor use, so you know, I probably won't use them too much. But the beauty is that you can flatten out the wing for high speed. You can adjust it for a little bit of downforce, and then you can adjust it to the extreme to get some air braking. So let's go ahead and set it up, and we'll take a look at how it works. So what I've got here is I've got a battery pack on these two. They are linked together, which is going to be very important so I don't get this twisting of the wing. And one of the things that we'll probably do to set this up is we'll set up maybe an Arduino, or I could potentially set it up on the computer that's already in the car, but we'll see how that shakes out. I think I'd like to have like an independent where I'd have an Arduino and then a mounted accelerometer that can tell whether you're accelerating going around a corner or whether you're braking, and then adjust the aero accordingly. Now, I really like the style of this wing, but is this wing practical? Probably not. It probably doesn't have the right airfoil shape. So I think down the road we'll probably design another one that's got the same kind of character to it, but we'll have the proper surfaces on it. So let's take a look. So I'm going to raise it to have a little bit of downforce, so a few degrees, like that. So that's pretty cool. And then if we want to do braking, and then that's air braking. I think we can, that's about as far as she's going to go. So yeah, so that'll induce drag and therefore help us brake. Now, again, that's with the right wing on the car, so bear that in mind. And then we can take it down. Well, guys, that's it for this episode. A lot of work's been done. Still got a lot of work to do. So hopefully next time we can show you the rear end all sanded up and ready to get primed. Once we prime the areas that are going to get painted, we'll do the carbon fiber skinning on the areas like the diffuser and some other parts. We'll do that skinning on there, and I'll probably do it in steps. I won't do it all at once, just so I can make sure I get it looking nice. And then we'll get it on the car, and boy, that's the last panel, so then we can start working on some of the details. There's 4 pieces in the interior I'd like to get done, but it's not necessary, so I won't feel as crunched once I get this done with the rear end. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Let me know what you think of the Active Aero, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.